The Nivelle Offensive began a few days after the Battle of Arras had begun. Starting on the 16th of April, the offensive was supposed to be the greatest offensive in the war. Using successful tactics used at Verdun, Nivelle believed that the French were finally going to break through the German lines, and had been so bold that Nivelle thought that on the first day alone they would gain 10,000 kilometers, but in reality they barely even gained one. The offensive would see the introduction of French tanks as well. However, they would not turn the tides of war for the French, because the Germans had knew that the French were coming, and instead of sending many of their reserves to the Battle of Arras like the Entente had hoped, the Germans reinforced the region, preparing for the French offensive, which they've been watching build up for the last few months. The Germans also learned new tactics from the Battle of Verdun and the Somme that they had used to cripple the French. By the end of the offensive, French morale had collapsed in an endless slaughter, and whole units mutiny and refused to go over the trenches for the German onslaught. It is heavily debated that if Germany would have counterattacked, the French would have collapsed and the war would have been won. By the conclusion of the offensive on the 9th of May, Nivelle was sacked by the French High Command, and the French suffered 187,000 casualties compared to Germany's 163,000.